Hey guys, this is Mark from Wiki Design. Today's video, I want to cover the top 4 things that I did my research on when I quit my 9-to-5 job. So stay tuned. My number 1 thing on this list is debt. And what I mean is you need to have very little or no debt when you go into starting your own business. So if you're working a 9-to-5 job, what I highly recommend is learn what debt it is that you can get rid of before you jump into starting a business. So I'll give you an example. In my situation, I hated having a car payment, and my God, those student loans, I never thought they would go away. I made sure that I didn't have a car payment anymore, and I had my student loans paid off in full. I highly, highly recommend that you pay off any major debt before you think about jumping into starting a business. The main reason, it's simple. You don't want all this extra stress for no reason. Like, if you have all of this old debt just hanging around, that's going to add a lot of anxiety and stress on top of all of these new things that are going to start happening with your business, because you're going to experience a whole nother level of stress and anxiety when it comes to starting your own business. The next one is your expenses. And similar to debt, what I recommend is you try to eliminate or get rid of as many expenses as you can. So, this is going to include your personal expenses and then any of your new business expenses you're going to be walking yourself into. So, all these little things that you have, they add up. So like your cable subscriptions, your streaming services, all these little mail order subscriptions, these things will add up a lot over the long run. So it's kind of simple, but a lot of people don't want to make these cutbacks or sacrifices when they're about to quit, their 9-to-5. You got to adjust. You're going to have to cut back on expenses. And it's a similar topic is when you're about to jump into running your own business, I highly recommend you start with at least 6 months worth of savings. You want to have, some money to fall back on when you're a little bit slow in the beginning, because it's going to take time to adjust and figure out, your workflow and, how much cash is going to be coming in and out. So you need to have at least 6 months saved. That's a big tip that I recommend. All right, the next topic is not a fun one to talk about, and that's taxes. When you're first starting out your business, you're going to learn really, really fast that taxes, when you run your business, is completely different than your 9-to-5 job. When you're running your own business, you're responsible for all of your taxes. So that means you got to pay all your federal, your state, net income. It's going to vary depending on your state, of course. But one thing I'm going to say is you're probably never going to get a tax return again. If you were working 9-to-5 and you were getting used to those little tax returns because, you could kind of plan for it, don't even think about that anymore. In most cases, when you're running your own business, you're going to be paying quarterly taxes. So you're going to be paying taxes up to 4 times throughout the year, every quarter. So this is stuff that you don't have to do when you're working your 9-to-5. So what I recommend is, do your research on your state's taxes, your local taxes, all that, and definitely get in contact with an accountant or a tax professional, because they're going to be able to help navigate you through this scary land. But all it takes is just talking to the right person, and it's not so bad. And when it comes to your taxes, what I highly recommend is saving at least 15 to 20% of all of your income throughout the year. So this is going to help pay your taxes throughout the year with your quarterly taxes, or if you want to pay at the end of the year. But I highly recommend save 15 to 20% of all your income. The next one is your health insurance. And similar to taxes, this is not always the best topic to talk about or the most fun thing to talk about, but it's got to be a topic that you are aware of when you're leaving your job. So that when you're working for somebody else, they're paying a lot of your health insurance premiums, and you're just paying the other half. But the minute that you go work for yourself, well, it's pretty common sense, is you're going to now be responsible for 100% of all of your premiums and deductibles and all this stuff. So you're not subsidized at all. So what I recommend is first start out at healthcare.gov and see if you can qualify for tax credits, because they have a lot of different types of tax credits. That's what we did in our situation. We were able to, get some extra help with premium tax credits. And if you don't fall into that category, then you're going to have to start to shop, for private health insurance across all the different companies. So it's going to take time, and it's just a lot of time and research. But what I recommend is saving up, making sure that you have some money every month saved up for this, because it's going to be an added expense that you didn't have when you were working a 9-to-5 job. So now those are the top 4 things that I looked into when I was leaving my 9-to-5 to go work for myself. A lot of these topics, they're deep when it comes to, how much you're going to have to research and all of that type of stuff. So it's just going to take a little bit of time, but it's not so scary once you get up and running. You're not even going to think about this stuff anymore. But hope this was helpful. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more weekly videos like this. Thanks. This is Mark from Wiki Design.